The famous Bruce Lee said the key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering. Many people, when they think about retirement, they think about living out those golden years, having a very secure financial future. One of the things to consider as part of a complete retirement game plan is also the legacy that we're going to leave. My name is Terence Brown. I'm the founder and president here at Left Tackle Advisors. Welcome to the Live More, Leave Your Mark Total Retirement Game Plan channel. Today, we're going to dive into what does it take to have an estate plan? What are the things we should consider so that we can leave a proper legacy and being able to leave your legacy the way you would like it to be handled? We're going to dive into 3 key questions today as we go through and discuss what this means. The first thing we're going to discuss today is, do you have all the necessary documents in place? There's 3 key documents, in our opinion, that we need to have in place. Do we have a will? Have we updated it recently? This is something that we need to go back to regularly. Maybe some of our accounts have changed. Maybe we need to put different beneficiaries on those accounts. Maybe we've moved homes. So that's something that needs to be revisited on a regular basis. Make sure that will is up to date and good to go. Next, do we have our power of attorney documents up to date? Now, this one's important because power of attorney, if you become incapacitated or can't make decisions, they're going to be the ones to make your financial decisions. Well, make sure it's somebody that you trust. This should also be revisited regularly as relationships may change because that person is going to be making your financial decisions. Lastly, when it comes to the essential documents, we want to make sure you have a healthcare directive. My wife and I just went through this recently, and it was a tough conversation. Having a healthcare directive lets everybody know how you want your situation handled, if you're in a coma, etc., or they don't think that you're going to be able to live if they have you on some life support type stuff. It can be extremely stressful if you leave that decision on a loved one or a spouse. So if you know how you want that handled, you make sure your healthcare directive is up to date, gives a lot of clarity on how those situations should be taken care of. Second thing, does your situation require you have a trust? For some people, it's very necessary, right? They may have some complex things going where a trust will do a couple of things. One, it's going to help avoid probate. So all the assets that are held in the trust, they're not going to have to go through probate, which could be very costly and very time consuming. The other thing is it can help with passing these assets to the next generation, help with some tax benefits as well. Not everybody needs a trust, but I think it's definitely part of the process to determine if that's necessary for your situation or not. And thirdly, have you talked with your loved ones? Have you shared with them what the plan looks like? Do they know who the power of attorney is going to be? That helps provide a lot of clarity so there's not confusion if that's ever something that you're going to come across. It can be an uncomfortable conversation, but it's a necessary one. And I think it actually can bring a lot of peace to that conversation so people know here's what it's going to look like when or if these things happen. And I think, the younger generation, your kids are going to actually appreciate knowing what your designs are so that there's no surprises when those circumstances do present themselves. You also going to want to share your end of life wishes so that people have an understanding of what you would like to occur. Also, make sure your family knows who you're using for any of your estate plan stuff, whether that's an attorney. One of the things we like to do is bring in, the beneficiaries, have a conversation with their parents, let them know who we are, let them know that we're there as a resource as well. That helps make that process move smoothly so that there is not a lot of miscommunication and misunderstanding. So as you could see, taking care of your estate plan is not just making sure finances are in order. It's also making sure that the necessary documents are in place. Do you need the trust? And then have you talked with your loved ones? Have you brought relief to them by having the conversation, making sure they know what your wishes are, and taking some of the burden off of them when those situations might arise. Thanks for joining us again here on the Live More, Leave Your Mark Total Retirement Game Plan channel. Have a wonderful one. Feel free to reach out. We're here to be a resource, and hopefully we can help point you in the right direction.